So when it comes to Sydney property market predictions, every man and his dog has an opinion. But for next year, I think we're actually going to have a bumper year, and I want to give you my 5 reasons why I think that's going to be the case. Starting with the announcement last week by Josh Friedenberg that the responsible lending laws are going to be wound back from March of next year, which basically means that the onus for responsible lending will pass from the banks back to the person taking the mortgage. So seeing those lending laws relaxed, of course, means credit's easier, and when credit's easier, we see a lot more activity in the property market. The second reason I believe we'll see a bumper year next year is the government announced in the budget today an extra 10,000 spots for the first home loan deposit scheme. That's 10,000 more people that basically the government's underwriting their deposit to buy their first home, up to 950,000, which I think will see a really big stimulus moving into next year. Of course, reason number 3, interest rates. They're at an all-time low, and there's no sign of interest rates raising anytime soon. In fact, there are whispers that interest rates might even go to 0. So when folks' repayments are lower for longer, that of course gives them the confidence to buy. Households are saving more. No one's been on a holiday overseas this year, and they won't be going anywhere next year either, which means all of those tens of thousands of dollars people normally spend on their overseas trip, something's got to happen with that money, and savings in people's bank accounts means, well, they've got to spend it somewhere. So why not upsize their home or buy a little investment property? And reason number 5 is, although the government has stated that our immigration is likely to remain low for a long time, my personal opinion is that's actually not going to be the case, because we really rely on the tax dollars of migrants and also the tax dollars of foreign students, as well as foreign student fees to prop up our economy and, of course, pay for the retirement of all of our baby boomers. And I think once the government really feels the pinch from those revenues not being received from all of those skilled migrants, they're going to change their tune very quickly. And I see a return to immigration coming much sooner rather than later. And once those migrants come back, we are going to see that's going to definitely give our property market a little bit of a pop. Now, there is one more factor that can really change the landscape next year, and you've probably heard that we have been talking about changing or abolishing our stamp duty, our transfer duty, and those murmurs are getting louder and louder. And if that eventuates, that's removing a really big barrier to entry to a lot of people who would buy but don't want to fork out the $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 in stamp duty. So if that eventuates, we will really see a very frothy property market next year. So there we go. I hope that's shed some light on the topic, and you can see some very good reasons as to, despite all the doom and gloom and the naysayers, why we should see a bumper property year in Sydney and New South Wales next year. If you've got any questions, of course, feel free to reach out. I'd love to chat with you.